Good morning, friends. This video is related to the recent webinar which I did for All India Users Oracle Users Group North India chapter. The webinar was regarding the host monitoring tips and tricks in Oracle Enterprise Manager 13c Cloud Control. So in this demo, I'll be showing you how you can use Enterprise Manager Cloud Control 13c to do the host monitoring. So this is my login screen. I'll log in using my credentials to the Cloud Control 13c. This is the home page which I'm getting the time I'm gonna log in. I'll show you some of the home pages which have been recently introduced in 13c. If you do not like this home page, or if you want some other home page to be set up, just click on the drop down of your username and click on the welcome page. So once you click on the welcome page, it will give you almost 12 different home pages, among which you can select any one of them as your home page. So depending upon your requirement, you can select any one of these as the home page. So if I just click on the databases, it will change my home page from the summary page to the list of the databases I have and their status. So either you can use a search list, or you can also use the database load map, whichever way you like. There are a lot of features which I can explain in, but this session will be basically focusing on the hosts. So I'll click on targets. If you remember, these drop downs which you can see on the top, they used to be on the left hand side in the previous release 12c Cloud Control, but in 13c they have pushed it to the right hand side. Moreover, the drop downs, they have enlarged their size, because Oracle has tried to give it more a tabular kind of look, so that you can easily operate on the tablets as well. So I'll click on the targets, then I'll click on hosts. Once I click on hosts, it will give me the list of all the hosts which are there monitor. So let's say if I click off any one of these hosts, I'll show you what all the new things. So see, this is a very new page that has been introduced in 13c. If you look at the above section of the page, these are called the dashlets, page dashlets. So we have first dashlet, which is just giving the overview. Then we have the second dashlet, which describes if you have any open incidents for that particular host. The third dashlet gives you details about the CPU and the memory utilization. And then this is the second button. If you click on it, it will show you the other two dashlets, one of which is the services of which are running on the operating system and their states. And the last dashlet is about the configuration change. If recently any configuration change has happened on your host, it will give you the time and the date. Let's come in the second section. I'll just push this thing upwards. So if I see, this is the summary page. It gives me the host name, what is the operating system version, what is the kernel release, how many CPUs are there, what is the swap utilization that is currently being there, then what is the root file system. Now from the previous release, if we compare, all these charts used to be on the same page, but in a very different way. Now they have given it a totally changed look. Like on the same graph, they have given you the real-time value for past 5 hours. Then they have segregated it to the last 24 hours, and then they have aggregated all the value to the last 3 days. So the complete information is available in the single chart. However, if you want to see the actual real-time value or the detailed information about each of these components, we can do that from the particular component. So on the right hand side of my screen, if you see this particular bar, these are the new tabs which have been introduced. So as the home button says, this particular page is a summary page, which gives you overall uh, value for each of the components. However, if I just want to check the details of the CPU, I'll click on this CPU icon, and it will further give me the CPU utilization, the system load, overall the CPU details on one single page. So I can change the time frame. In 13C they have given you many options. In 12C it was only 3 options available, but now they have given you either you can see 2 hours on the interval of 4 hours, 10 hours, 1 day or 1 week. So let's say if I want to see the CPU utilization for 1 week, so I can select that, and accordingly it will give me the CPU utilization. So from this particular thing, if I just monitor the peak values, I can note that time, and from there I can calculate, okay, if every day at this particular time my CPU goes high, right? Same is the case with the system load as well. So if you want to monitor the CPU details in detail, actually you can go through all this from the CPU tab. We do have some other matrices available as well. We'll go through them later on in the same demo. Let's switch to the host memory. So click on the third icon, which is for the host memory, and it will give you the memory utilization. In the same way, you can either select the value by percentage or in the NV. Let's select for the last 1 day. So the memory utilization is not there because this system was under maintenance mode. It was down for entire 1 day. So that's why you are not able to see the value from 6 p.m. to 10 a.m. If I move it to 1 week, you will be able to have a let me refresh it. Okay, I need to check why the values are not changing, because if I'm just clicking on 1 week, it's not changing the value. But anyhow, I mean, you can do this, you can select the value from the drop down. Accordingly you'll be able to see the utilization details. Similarly, if you want to check the swap details, just click on the swap details icon, and it will give you a better picture, a clear picture about the swap utilizations. The fourth tab which comes is regarding the storage, that is your disk utilization. So let's see what all options we have there in disk utilization under 13C. Now it depends what are the disk distribution is there, or what is the storage available on your host. If there is no disk available, if it's a VM, then you won't be getting any disk details. If you click on the file system, it will give you the details of your file system. So as I shown this slide in my demo as well, this is how the file system distribution will be displayed in your Enterprise Manager 13C. Similarly, if you have Linux volume groups, then if you click on it, it will give you the data for your Linux LVMs. But if it's not there, no data will be displayed. The same goes with the SAN configuration as well. If you do have a SAN configuration available, then it will definitely give you the details for that. If you click on more, the other things which are available, if available, will be displayed. Then comes the network activity. This will give you the details about your network. So we do not have any interfaces, that's why no information is being displayed. But if I click on the data links, then it will give me whatever the data links that are available and their usage. Again, the detailed version, if you want to see the history or the summary of past few days, you can do that from the matrices, which I'll be showing you in the coming few minutes. But the main pages which are available on the home page, it will give you a very limited information. The last one is regarding the services, the top processes actually. So the top processes which are currently running on your machine, it will give you the CPU utilization and the memory utilization for those. Then the last comes the host services. We did have the dashlet for this as well. So right now there is only one host service, which is the agent installation manager, that is running. This is stop, so it's giving you the status. If you want to see only stop, it will give you those. If you want to see the running, it will give you those. Or if you want to see all the services which are running as well as the services which are stop, then you have to select the all radio button and it will give you the information. So this was regarding the overview of the main home page and the options which are available on the main page itself. Till now we have not moved to the navigation. Now let's move to the navigation. So if you click on the host, most of the features which are available are the same, except the one which is open the home page in the new window. Let's switch to the monitoring. CPU details, memory details, and those were there in the previous release as well. So if you click on CPU details, it will navigate you to the page where it will give you the CPU utilization. So this page is the same as the previous one, correct? In 12C we used to get the same page. However, the very first page for the CPU utilization, which we saw in the previous slide, that was using the tab, that was a different look. So from here it's showing you the top processes as well, and again the real-time value, the same options which were there in the previous release are available here as well. Same we have for the memory details, and the same is for your disk details. So these options are pretty much same which we used to have in the previous release, that was 12C. Let's click on the all matrices and see what all things we can actually monitor. So this time the list is huge. We were not used to have these many matrices available in 12C. There was a very limited amount of matrices which were available. So this time they have introduced some new matrices as well. The boot environment status, this is a very new matrix. If you have the matrix configured for these, it will show you all the details. But if you have not configured any of these matrices, there won't be any data available for you. So make sure any of the matrices you want to monitor, you should configure it first as well. Let's say if I click on the overall CPU usage, so it will provide me the overall CPU usage. As you can see, as I mentioned, that this system was under blackout, so it shows that it was under blackout for this much period. Since we are on the all matrices page, here you can see the details to whatever time period you want. So if you want the details for last 6 months or last 2 months, accordingly you can select the time frame from here and you can easily get the details. So these details were not available on the very first home page. There we only had the capability to view the data for last 1 week. But if you want more data, the previous data, historical data, so we can easily get it from all matrices page. So CPU usage is there, disk activity is there. Again, I'm not going to go through each and every of the matrices in detail, but yes, these are all the matrices which you can monitor and which you can set up in your Enterprise Manager 13C Cloud Control, and you can get detailed alerts for those if any of the breaches happens or if any of the threshold is break. So similarly, you have load, under load you have your CPU, you have your free memory, swap utilization is there, total processes, all these things are there. The important one which I showed in my demo, my presentation as well, were the log file monitoring and the log file monitor. So in 13C you do have an option where you can get alerts for the log files, but you have to configure them in your template. I'll quickly show you. See, here is the drop down, you have log file alerts. So if you click on log file alerts, until and unless you have not configured, it won't show you any alerts. So if you read the top line carefully, it says to view the list of all the monitored files, it should match the metric available under the metric policy and setting page. Now let me take you to this particular page where it is referring. So I click on monitoring, I click on metric collection and settings. So these are the default matrices which are already configured for my host monitoring. If you click on this drop down which says all matrices, here let me search, it says log file. So here I have log file monitor and log file monitoring. See, so currently they do not have any value, it's set to null, so that's why it says disabled. So you have to enable this, then you have to set the pattern, and accordingly you can get the alerts for the log files as well. Let's click on this icon. Yeah, and here you can set whatever the warning and the critical threshold you want to set, and you can configure the alerts for the log files. So I'll click cancel this process and I'll go back to the thing where I was under all matrices. So again, this is a list of all the matrices which are available. You can configure them as per your requirement, you can monitor them as per your requirement, and then you can easily get the alerts for those. Let's see what other things we have. The other things which I mentioned was the administration and the net service administration. This is the net CA which you used to do from the server as well. So you are having all the options, whether you want to administer your listeners, your local naming, network profile, file location, configuration files, anything. Any of the operations which you used to earlier perform logging from the server and then getting a separate window for those, you can easily do that from the console itself. Remote file editor, you need not have to log into your actual server, you just have to here provide your username credentials. I have my name credentials set up, so I'm using those. I click on OK, and if you remember the location of the file you can do it, but if you don't, just click on this search icon. It will give you all the directories you have. I'll go to app, I'll go to Oracle, let me go to product, let me edit my agent file, agent 13C. Let's see what all the agent image property files I have. I'll click on select, click on continue. It will give me all the contents of this file. Right, so you can make any of the changes, you can edit this file, and then you can save. But since it's given me some warning that the privileges are not sufficient, so I have to save as a copy. So I'm not making any changes, I'm just showing you what you can do. If you have the right credential, if you have the right permissions, you can edit any file, need not to go to the server, just directly edit any file from this console itself. Then we have the execute host command. Again, no need to go to the server, open a console over there. Just use your credentials, log in. So what are the privileges you have? You can fire the commands as per the permissions, execute it, and it will give you the output. Clear this thing, run another command, you're getting the output. The only shortcoming this tool is having that the maximum output that this window can display is of the length 5 MB. So any output which exceeds this limit, you have to switch it to the other window and then you can open it. Related targets, privilege delegation settings. You want to set up special credentials for this. For any privilege operations, you can do that. Related targets will show you whatever the targets which are related to this host, which were actually detected from this host. So it's showing me my Oracle homes, it's showing me my databases, it's showing me my agent as well. Sorry. Then comes the configuration option. Let's click on configuration and see the latest. So most of the time it happens that the DBAs, they are just aware of the some of the important information, right? The detailed information we are not aware of. The infrastructure team, they are usually aware of. So if you click on this, the configuration properties, it's showing you what is the immediate relationship, which all are the members of, uses, what are the uses, used by. All these are the different tabs which will give you different informations. But here you see we have recent changes. We have 11 configuration changes. Excuse me. So if you want to see what were the configuration changes, you click on this configuration and you'll click on I think I just select the wrong option. Configuration, like configuration changes. Yeah, sorry. So this is the hyperlink. The number is actually the hyperlink. So we have to click on the hyperlink, and this will give us the recent changes which happened and on which date. So there are 8 changes which were recently done on 14th of Feb. So again, if I click on the number, so it is fetching the results. So these were the changes which were done. These are the operating system property, and this was a hardware change. So you can actually see what, if you are not aware, okay, what change was recently happened in the infrastructure maintenance, you can actually see from here. So from configuration you can get the details of all the configurations of your system. In case you want to compare the two servers, just click on compare, and you will get a new page. Click on add. Here you have to provide the targets which you want to compare. It's a multi-select window, so you can click on control and you can select the targets which you want. So let me select these two servers. It asks you whether you want to use any template or not. So I'll use the default host template and I'll give it a test compare result. I'll submit the job. It will take some time, and thereafter it's going to present me the comparison report. Okay, so now if you noticed, there are almost 21,580 differences which were found from OEM. So it compared two targets and there are total more than 21,000 differences. So now it depends which differences you want to see actually, whether you want to see the differences of this or whether you want to see the differences of right. So accordingly, just select the drop down and it will show you the differences. See now, if you see, the differences has been reduced, right? So this list has been reduced. However, if I click on the left only, so this has a huge list and the number of differences as well is now increased. So you can generate a report as well. If you don't want, you can export this report on your local machine. It will be there and later on you can see it. Last but not the least, I'll take you to the different reports which you can run besides the configuration host. What are the different reports which are available? So we'll click on information publisher reports, and these are the default reports which you can run. I already have few of the reports which I created. I'll show you those. This is my host usage tracking summary report. So it gives me all the details of the host name, what are their vendors, system configuration, the processor they are having, total number of cores, CPU, each and every detail. So within few minutes you can actually get the detailed information of all the machines which are there in your environment. This is the same. Let me show you the another report which I had. Then I have OEM host report. This is actually the disk utilization. So I have my servers and I have the disk utilization for each one of them, which are all the drives configured, what is the total capacity, how much is the free space available or not. So such kind of reports we or in my company I usually use for the quarterly health checkup of my systems. The same report I generate for my databases as well, which can be easily used. If I want to see the hardware details, so I do have the hardware details as well. I have the host names and whatever the operating system version is there installed and what is the hardware. So in this way you can get different reports generated from your Cloud Console 13C. I have my OMS parameters, I have my database usage report. I'll discuss for them in the next demo, which will be mainly on the databases. For host, this was all I have. A very quick thing I would like to show you, if and only if you are having a 13C agent installed on your host, you will be able to see the new page, the new summary page, correct? But if you are having a 12C agent that is compatible with the 13C that is installed on your machine, so you won't be able to get this page. You will be able to see the same page which was there in the previous release. I'll show you an example. I have one of the servers on which 12C agent is installed, C. So on this server I have 12C agent. This page is not this one which was there for the 13C agent. This is the same host home page which was there in 12C. So doesn't matter if you have upgraded to the OMS 13C, but if your agent is not upgraded to 13C, you still will be having all the old features which were there for 12C. So you won't be able to see any dashlets, you won't be able to see any of the tabs which are available over here. If you want to see a better picture or better look or all the new features which were there, so you have to upgrade your agent to the 13C, correct? So this was all the demo which I have for you for the host monitoring. I hope you like it. Again, I cannot show each and everything in detail. I cannot discuss all the matrices in detail, but I have shown you what all things you have and what all things you can do. So you have to explore it on your own, and the more you're gonna explore, the better picture you're gonna have. So I hope you like this demo. Thank you so much. Soon I'll be posting more demos on the databases and other things which we can do from 13C Cloud Console. Thank you so much once again.